Giannis Antetokounmpo. Reports coming out that if the Milwaukee Bucks are not set up for sustained success going forward, that Giannis could request a trade away from the Milwaukee Bucks. As someone who, since the very beginning of the season, maybe even going into preseason, who has said that Giannis Antetokounmpo will leave the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo will not be a Milwaukee Bucks player at the beginning of the 25-26 season. This is why. I've been saying this. The reports now coming out saying that he could request a trade if they're not set up for long-term success. I've been saying this because this team is old. And they had Chris Middleton, who was 32, double ankle surgery. I said, man, there is no way Chris Middleton is going to be the number 3 piece that you guys, that he was in the past, or the number 2 piece that he was in the past. No way, especially off double ankle surgery. And what happened? Chris Middleton's been moved. And then now, Giannis coming out and saying, if we're not set up for long-term success, hey, I might dip out. Damian Lillard turns 35 years old this season. Brook Lopez turns 37 years old. Bobby Portis out for 25 games. Andre Jackson Jr. Yeah, he's a good young player. He can defend well, but he can't shoot. Then they got AJ Green. Hey, Cooper DeJean took all the Caucasian superpowers. Green can shoot the ball, but he can't defend. This team is not set up for long-term success. And this is why Giannis Antetokounmpo will request a trade. Giannis Antetokounmpo won't be a Milwaukee Buck at the start of next season. No way. Because this team, since they won a championship, it's been bad move after bad move after bad move. 2021, Milwaukee Bucks win the championship, right? And then the following season, they come back, right? Unfortunately, there were injuries in the playoffs. Middleton, I think, was the one who got injured. And then they lost in 7 to the Boston Celtics, who ended up going to the NBA Finals and lost. Then the following season, the Milwaukee Bucks come out. They're the number 1 seed. They have Drew Holiday. They have Giannis. They have Middleton. They have Lopez. They have Portis. All these guys. They lose 4-1 to the Miami Heat. Why? Because Giannis was injured. Didn't get the opportunity to play a majority of that series. And then the Milwaukee Bucks say, you know what? Drew Holiday, your time here is done. You're going to Portland. You're going to the Portland Trailblazers. You know what? What's his name? Mike Budenholzer. You led us to a championship as the head coach. You're done as well. And they bring in Adrian Griffin. Now, Adrian Griffin, you had Doc Rivers was the consultant to Adrian Griffin. And it seemed as though from the very beginning that this was a sus situation. Like, this was just suspicious because it was like, what are you doing here? You might as well just have hired Doc Rivers. What's the point? Adrian Griffin comes out. He's 30-11. And they say, you know what, Adrian Griffin, 30-11, you're fired. Let's bring in Doc Rivers. And remember what happened when they brought in Doc Rivers. They were under 500 with him as a head coach last season. We remember that. We remember that happened. And then Giannis gets injured again. And they go playoffs and they play the Indiana Pacers. No Giannis majority of that series. Then Dame gets injured. Chris Middleton has to go back into 2021 finals form. He tries his best, but they lose to the Pacers. Then you come into the offseason. And then you have Doc Rivers as your head coach again. And then you trade Chris Middleton. And you go out there and you get Kyle Kuzma. All due respect to Kyle Kuzma. But listen, he has come into a situation where this isn't the 2020 Lakers. This is not the same as being this is not the same number 3 that Kyle Kuzma was on that Lakers team. Kyle Kuzma was the number 3 on that Lakers team. They had so many other pieces. KCP, they had Caruso, they had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. They had so many guys. And then now you're forcing him to be a number 3 on a team that is not very good. And they are very old. And for multiple seasons, I've been saying, the Milwaukee Bucks need to trade Brook Lopez because Brook Lopez is not it. That drop coverage that Brook Lopez plays is not it. It's not sustainable. It doesn't work because it's going to get exposed by guys who literally can shoot the ball. And looking at this, again, Brook Lopez is going to be 37. He is over the hill. It's game over. Dame is going to be 35. Dame is still doing his thing. But listen, do you think he's going to be able to sustain this level of play for another 2-3 years? If you're Giannis and you want to be remembered as an all-time great, that's not possible in Milwaukee. I'm sorry to break it to you. Because what this team needs to go back to being a championship contender, a legit championship contender, like they were in 2021, they don't have the pieces to go out there and get the other pieces that they need to be that team. They just don't have it. Because Kuzma, good piece, but he's not a number 3 that's going to, he's going to win us a championship as a number 3. No. Damian Lillard, great player, bad defender. Brook Lopez can shoot the 3 ball, but sag defense. Hey, drop coverage every time. Go try play drop coverage against the Cleveland Cavaliers in a 7-game series. Play drop coverage against Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and tell me how well that works for you. You're gonna get swept 4-0. You will get swept 4-0. And that's what I look at with the Milwaukee Bucks team. That they can't beat any of these top teams. If they play the Cavs, I think the Cavs would beat them. I won't say sweep, but they would beat them 4-1. The Celtics would also beat them 4-1. The Knicks would beat them 4-2. That's 3 teams right there. So you're not winning a championship because you're not getting out of the East. No way, no chance. And even the Pacers now are starting to fly again. I could say the Pacers can beat the Bucks as well. So that's just this season. And another year of this team getting older. No, this team, I think the Bucks have reached that point. Every team in the NBA, every single team that, has been together for a long time, they reach a point where it's game over. We can't go past this. This is the peak. There's no going past it. The Milwaukee Bucks, if they were going to win a second championship, in my opinion, 2022-23 season was their best shot. If Giannis didn't get injured and he got to play that Miami Heat series, I think they would have gone to the finals. I really do. I think they would have beat the Celtics, and I think they would have gone to the finals. But they didn't, and they missed the boat. And that's the problem. When you miss the boat, the ship is going to sail. The ship is going to sail away, and I think the ship has sailed for this team.